Most people assume that serious brain decline happens suddenly, but in reality, it often begins quietly, with small, easy-to-miss changes. You may notice a name taking a little longer to remember, a conversation slipping away faster than before, or a moment of confusion that wasn't there a few years ago. These changes can feel subtle, almost harmless. But sometimes, they are early signals your brain is asking for more attention. If you are someone who cares about your health and well-being, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next simple insight that could help you stay sharp, independent, and confident in the years ahead. Today, we're going to talk about 7 brain warning signs after 70 that could predict faster decline, and more importantly, what you can gently do about them. Because the goal is not fear. The goal is awareness and quiet action. Let's begin with something many people experience, but rarely talk about. One of the earliest warning signs is when everyday forgetfulness starts to feel different. It's normal to forget where you placed your keys once in a while. It happens to everyone. But when forgetfulness begins to interrupt your daily routine, that's when it deserves attention. For example, Harold, age 74, used to manage his day with ease. He remembered appointments, paid his bills on time, and rarely needed reminders. But over time, he began missing important dates. He would forget conversations he had just a day before, and sometimes, he couldn't recall familiar names during a simple chat. At first, he laughed it off. But deep down, he felt something was changing. This type of memory shift may suggest that your brain is having a harder time organizing and storing new information. The good news is, there are gentle ways to support your memory. Simple habits like writing things down, using a daily routine, and repeating important information out loud can help your brain stay engaged. You might also try something as simple as linking new information to something familiar. For example, connecting a person's name with a visual image or a story. And perhaps most important, stay patient with yourself. Have you ever noticed that when you slow down, your mind tends to follow? Another subtle sign is difficulty following conversations. You may find yourself losing track in the middle of a discussion, especially when more than one person is speaking. Words may feel like they're coming too fast, or your thoughts may not form as clearly as they once did. Margaret, age 78, began noticing this during family gatherings. She loved being around her grandchildren, but found herself quietly withdrawing, not because she didn't care, but because it became harder to keep up. This kind of change can happen when the brain struggles to process information quickly. But again, there are ways to support this. Try focusing on one conversation at a time. Sit closer to the person speaking. Reduce background noise when possible. And don't hesitate to ask someone to repeat or slow down. There is no weakness in asking for clarity. In fact, it's a sign of strength and awareness. And here's something gentle to consider. When you give your full attention to a conversation, your brain receives a kind of exercise it truly needs. Now, let's talk about something that often goes unnoticed: changes in decision-making. Have you ever found it harder to make simple choices? What to eat? What to wear, whether to go out or stay in. These decisions used to feel automatic, but now they may feel heavier, slower, sometimes even overwhelming. Walter, age 80, noticed this when shopping. He would stand in front of familiar items, unsure of what to choose, not because he didn't recognize them, but because the process of deciding felt more difficult than before. This can be a sign that the brain's ability to organize thoughts and weigh options is changing. To support this, try simplifying your choices. Create small routines. Choose a few go-to meals. Lay out clothes the night before. Reduce the number of decisions you need to make each day. This doesn't limit your independence. It protects your mental energy. Because the fewer unnecessary decisions you make, the more clarity you preserve for what truly matters. Another important signal is changes in mood or personality. This one can be especially confusing. because it doesn't always feel like a brain issue. You may feel more irritable, more anxious, or less interested in things you once enjoyed. Helen, age 76, used to love her morning walks. But over time, she began staying indoors. She felt less motivated. Small frustrations began to bother her more than before. At first, her family thought it was just part of aging. But these emotional shifts can sometimes reflect deeper changes in the brain. Your brain and your emotions are closely connected. When your brain feels overwhelmed or understimulated, your mood often changes with it. The solution is not to push yourself harshly, but to gently reconnect with meaningful activities. Even a short walk, a phone call with a friend, listening to music you love. These small moments can help stabilize your mood and keep your brain active. Ask yourself, what is one small thing that still brings you a sense of calm or joy? Sometimes, that's where healing begins. Now let's look at another quiet warning sign. Trouble with familiar tasks. This doesn't mean learning something new is difficult. That's normal. But when tasks you've done for years begin to feel confusing, that's different. Robert, age 79, had cooked the same dishes for decades. But one afternoon, he found himself unsure of the steps. He paused, trying to remember what came next. Moments like this can feel unsettling. They may suggest that the brain is having difficulty retrieving stored information. To support this, break tasks into smaller steps. Write simple checklists. Take your time. Avoid rushing. And most importantly, keep practicing familiar routines. Repetition is one of the brain's greatest strengths. The more you gently repeat a task, the more you reinforce those connections. Let's talk about another signal that many people overlook: losing your sense of direction. Have you ever walked into a place you know well and felt briefly unsure of where you were, or taken a familiar route and suddenly hesitated? Dorothy, age 82, experienced this during a short walk in her neighborhood. She paused at a corner she had passed hundreds of times, unsure which way to turn. These moments can happen occasionally, but when they become more frequent, they may reflect changes in spatial awareness. Your brain uses this ability to understand where you are in relation to your surroundings. To support this, try staying engaged with your environment. Notice landmarks, take familiar routes, walk with a companion when possible. You can also gently challenge your brain by describing your surroundings out loud or recalling the path you just walked. It may feel simple, but it keeps your brain actively involved. And finally, let's talk about something deeply important: a gradual loss of initiative. This is not laziness. It's not a lack of discipline. It's when you begin to feel less motivated to start things, even things you once enjoyed. James, age 77, used to take pride in his daily routines, but over time, he found himself sitting longer, delaying simple tasks, and feeling less driven to begin his day. This can be one of the most overlooked warning signs. Because from the outside, it may look like rest, but from the inside, it can feel like a quiet withdrawal. Your brain relies on engagement. When you stop initiating activities, your brain receives fewer signals to stay active. The solution is not to force yourself into big changes, but to start small. Set one simple goal each morning. Make the bed. Step outside. Call a friend. These small actions send a powerful message to your brain. I am still here. I am still engaged. And that matters more than you may realize. Now, as you reflect on these 7 warning signs, you may recognize 1 or 2 in your own life. That's okay. Awareness is not something to fear. It's something to use. Because your brain, even after 70, still has the ability to adapt, to strengthen, and to respond to care. Small daily habits, consistent routines, meaningful connections, and gentle mental activity can all make a difference. You don't need to do everything at once. Just begin with one small step. Maybe today, you write something down. Maybe you take a short walk. Maybe you reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. These moments may seem small, but over time, they build something powerful. A stronger, steadier, more supported mind. And remember, you are not alone in this journey. Many people experience these changes, but those who stay aware, who take gentle action, often maintain their clarity and independence far longer than expected. So take care of your mind, with patience, with kindness, and with consistency. If this video helped you in any way, take a moment to like it and share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. Your story may help someone else feel less alone. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more simple, supportive insights designed especially for you. Thank you for spending this time here. Wishing you calm days, clear thoughts, and a healthy, steady mind in the years ahead.